Welcome to our kitchen. Today we prepare ancient Roman patina ex rusticis, a dish with wild herbs and chicken from the fourth book of the Re Coquinaria. We start with ingredients. We need chicken breast, eggs, wine, garum, olive oil, resin wine, black pepper and wild herbs, mint, dandelion, mustard greens, sow thistle and mallow. Patina is a term that refers more to the pan in which the recipe is prepared than to a specific type of dish. Although many of the patina recipes in the Re Coquinaria are clearly frittatas, some are more difficult to classify according to modern categories. The author doesn't specify which wild herbs to use, so it's up to you to choose the ones you prefer from the edible Mediterranean herbs. Other possibilities suggested in the original text are cucumber and cabbage, to which we can add either chicken or fish meat. The author writes to follow a previous recipe, probably one for asparagus, in which asparagus juice is mixed with eggs and denugarum, a mixture of garum and wine, and prepared with small birds, previously cooked with pepper, garum, wine and resin wine. We didn't use herb juice, but the minced herbs. In any case, you are free to interpret the text differently. To obtain the juice, pound the herbs in the mortar, then add a little water and filter the liquid. We mince the herbs and the chicken breast. Then we beat the eggs with a little wine and garum and prepare a mixture of wine, resin wine, garum and pepper. We used 4 eggs for half a chicken breast and 4 handfuls of minced herbs, but you can change the ratio according to your taste. The quantity of wine, resin wine and garum depends mostly on how tender the herbs are, and therefore how long you need to cook them. However, we suggest a ratio of 2 parts of wine and garum to 1 part of resin wine for a good balance. We have chosen a simple garum, made with only wine and garum, but there are several recipes in the Re Coquinaria if you want a more complex version. For example, you can add thyme, savory, lovage, honey and olive oil to make an excellent sauce. If you don't have resin wine, you can use a little honey or mead or a few raisins. Garum can be substituted with a Southeast Asian fish sauce, muria, colatura di alici, or just salt. Links to recipes for muria and garum are in the description below. To learn more about ancient Roman cuisine, we recommend our book Ancient Roman Cooking, where you can find information on ancient agriculture, preserves, ingredients and banquets, in addition to several recipes. On our Patreon page you will find the translations of the Re Coquinaria and the recipes from Catos de Agricultura and Columellas de Re Rustica, which are 2 fundamental sources on agriculture and food in ancient Roman farms, along with articles on ancient and medieval food and other translations of historical sources. You can find a list of our books on historical food in the description below, as well as links to buy us a beer and purchase our merchandise. We cook the minced chicken for a couple of minutes with olive oil and a mixture of wine, resin wine, garum and pepper. Then we add the herbs and lay them on the chicken breast, without mixing the layers of chicken and herbs. The cooking time depends on the herbs you use and how tender they are. If the herbs need a longer cooking time, you may need to add a little water or more wine and resin wine, and cover with a lid until they are cooked through. Then we add the eggs and cook until they set. We serve the patina dusted with pepper. This patina was incredible despite the simplicity of the ingredients. The flavor of the different herbs was enhanced by the egg mixture and was very well balanced by the acidity of wine, the sweetness of raisin wine, the sapidity of garum, and the heat of black pepper. A dish worth trying in many versions, with different herbs or also fish, to experience the great variety of flavors typical of the culinary art of our ancestors. If you're interested in ancient foods and flavors, subscribe our channel and consider supporting us on Patreon.